It's Sonic Saturday, yo! Hey guys, welcome in. I'm ZorDonofDoom. I'm a singer-songwriter and I make content here on YouTube. I also stream on Twitch and I have music up on Spotify, Apple Music, and here on YouTube. If you would like to check out anything that I do other than reactions, all links are down in the description. But today, as you can tell by the color that is in the background, is another Sonic Saturday, in which I react to music from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. And although I have finished Sonic Adventure, I did the Sonic Adventure live stream last week. Today, we're continuing with more Sonic 06 music. Ready to absolutely jump into this right now because it seems like there's quite a lot of description to read. Huge thank you to the OC Maniac for providing the links and also the descriptions. And I also appreciate you, Marlon High, for adding and giving your 2 cents on what the next video for 06 will be. Super duper appreciate you. But yeah, let me read this. First song, we have Event. He's the Iblis Trigger. So apparently this is what Maniac and a few others consider to be the full version of Mephilis the Dark's theme. It plays in the cutscene where Mephilis tells Silver that the only way that he can save the world would be to change the past. Silver claims how that's impossible, but Mephilis tells him about his power to time travel. He then tells Silver that he has to eliminate the Iblis Trigger, the individual who is responsible for Iblis being free. He shows Silver records of the egg carrier crashing and Iblis being free, before showing Silver a version of a blue hedgehog, Sonic, and sending Silver and Blaze back in time with the mission to kill Sonic. Oh, so this is the start of Silver trying to kill Sonic. All right, let's check this out. Alrighty, here we go. Event. He's the Iblis Trigger from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. In 3, 2, and 1. Oh. I wasn't expecting it to be just synth and piano and so creepy. Oh. I mean, I guess it makes sense since Mephilis is twisting the truth, right? Super creepy. Strings coming in. Probably being shown. Iblis being set free. And Sonic being responsible. Oh, you got a little time aspect to that. The clock tower ringing. Ooh. Creepy. I'm glad I'm not reacting to this at 3 in the morning this time. And then next up is another optional event called Mephilis' Whisper. So Marlon believes this track is redundant, but we'll leave it up to me if I want to react to it since the context for the scene this music plays in is really good. It plays in a cutscene where Shadow stays behind in the future to question Mephilis about what happened to the world. Mephilis answered this question by showing Shadow a vision of himself defeated and imprisoned. Mephilis then explains to Shadow that when Iblis was freed, What do you think happened? A search for the guilty. Shadow was wrongfully blamed and hunted down by humanity because he was the ultimate life form. Mephilis then tells Shadow to join him and punish this foolish world of humanity. It's only fair to give back what was intended for you. You have every right to want justice. Only for Shadow to refuse and tell Mephilis that I determine my own destiny. Ooh, let's go, Shadow. Interesting. I'll check it out. It might be a little redundant, but yeah, with the context and that thought in my mind can be interesting. Also, this is 1 minute 39 seconds, so it's shorter for sure. But yeah, let's check it out. Here we go. Event Mephilis' Whisper in 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, this sounds like Mephilis just gaslighting theme. Or not gaslighting, maybe manipulating characters theme, you know? Very sinister intentions. Oh, it's also a bit different. This comes on a lot stronger in this version. But then Shadow rejects. It sounds like Hopeful is like cutting through. Ooh. And Shadow just chooses, you know, I'm not going to trust my destiny. Yeah, a true hero statement. That's so cool. Let's go. Heck yeah. Alrighty, next up we have Boss Mephilis. This plays in his boss fight in Flame Core, where he literally is your shadow. I'm your shadow. You can't even touch me. Oh, that's crazy. And you have to force him out while also fighting a horde of shadow monsters. Oh no. It doesn't matter how many of them you defeat, you know. Omega, a robot that is one of Shadow's friends, also comes in to assist Shadow when Mephilis gets the upper hand in the fight. Once the fight is over, Mephilis flees by using his time travel. Shadow and Omega follow him to the present. Oh, interesting. Okay. How do you proc Mephilis to come out of shadow form? You know? Also quite poetic that he says that I'm your shadow when it's Shadow the Hedgehog, you know? Okay, here we go. Boss Mephilis Phase 1 in 3, 2, and 1. Okay, his themes definitely have this ethereal creepiness to it. Like, obviously this is a boss theme, right? But it has that same sort of vibe. That he has the ability to time travel as well. Quite powerful. wild. Fade out? Oh, it is a fade out. Interesting. I'm curious what phase 2 is gonna sound like. Okay, next up we have event. Can it be true? Does Silver find out the truth during this or something? So according to Maniac, this plays in 2 different cutscenes that involve Mephilis. The first one being after Sonic's Crisis City, when Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles overhear and eavesdrop on Mephilis, convincing Silver to go back in time to kill Sonic, to save the world. Aha! When Mephilis time travels, Sonic and his friends enter the room, and Tails looks at the data that Mephilis showed Silver, seeing that Princess Elise would die on board the egg carrier when it crashes 2 days after the Festival of the Sun. The opening cutscene to Sonic's story in Sonic 06. Huh, okay, so that's why it's Can It Be True? Is Princess Elise gonna die? The second time this plays is after Shadow's Wave Ocean, where Omega is in the process of shooting Mephilis up. During this, Mephilis continues to twist the knife on Shadow's fate by revealing that not only was humanity going to hunt down Shadow for an atrocity he didn't commit, but Omega would end up being the one that actually succeeds in defeating him. This only proves that you were created to stop Shadow, the ultimate life form. Don't tell me you didn't know. You may have been programmed by humanity, but what you did to Shadow in the future, that was your... He didn't get the chance to finish before Omega just riddles him with his 2 minigun arms. When Shadow and Rouge arrive to support Omega, Mephilis flees and leaves Omega to tell Shadow about what he does to him, which actually shocks and hurts Shadow, since not only is Omega one of his few actual friends, but Omega himself was admitting it. Rouge points out, "It's so unfair, Shadow is always here to defend the world." To which Omega states that eventually when something or someone is seen as too powerful, it is seen as a threat, and then the world becomes its enemy. There have been many cases like that. I think there are quite a few movies that have that as a storyline. I think Marvel has done it a few times as well. Shadow actually almost walked away from his team because of this reveal, because he did not want to fight his friends in the future. The only reason he didn't was because Rouge told him, "Even if you believe the whole world will be against you, know that I'll always remain by your side. Remember that." Wait, knowing what happens to Rouge, that hurts. That hurts. To which Shadow decided to stay with Team Dark and fight Mephilis together. Well, dang. So, even though the scenario is very different, the title, Can It Be True, makes complete sense. So, yeah, let's check this out. In 3, 2, and 1. Aw. It really sounds like these reveals were heartbreaking and devastating, you know? Like, is this really what happens in the future? Shadow's story sounds so tragic. For a second, I thought it ended. I think it's really strong of Shadow to have stayed. That does suck, especially knowing your future. Okay, all of these songs have been so creepy. Or they've had some type of creepy vibe to it. Okay, next up is another event. Mephilis' Temptation. This plays in the cutscene in Dusty Desert before Shadow's final boss fight with Mephilis. This time with Team Dark, Rouge the Bat, and E123 Omega alongside him. Mephilis now has a Chaos Emerald to boost his power, and once again tries to get Shadow to turn against his allies. But Shadow calls out Mephilis. You have no desire for revenge. You only crave destruction. Your only lust is to fuel Iblis until there is nothing left of time itself. Mephilis then drops the act and powers himself up with the Chaos Emerald, pushing Team Dark back and literally filling the entire desert temple with darkness, setting the stage for the battle. Okay. So this is essentially the setup for Phase 2. Here we go. Event. Mephilis' Temptation. In 3, 2, and 1. Mephilis just trying to manipulate, you know? Trying to get Shadow on the dark side. It also kind of sounds like he's jealous of Shadow and Shadow's power. That's why he keeps wanting Shadow to be on his side. Or he likes the chaos of seeing allies fight amongst each other. This is intense. And by the end of this, everything's dark, yeah? On to the next boss theme. Mephilis Phase 2. This plays in the final boss fight against Mephilis in Dusty Desert, who can now clone himself. Clone himself? Turn into a giant shadow monster that shoots lasers from its giant eye or mouth. I can't tell. On top of his moves from Phase 1 still being present here. Drown in darkness. I am expecting this to sound even more sinister and more urgent and creepy as all heck. Maybe faster cadence compared to Phase 1. I expect it to be built off of Phase 1. But I digress. Let's get into it in 3, 2, and 1. Oh, we got the choir! That's one way to elevate a creepy song. Wait, that gave me chills? Bit is very much Mephilis' theme, yeah? This part's kind of cool. addition of the drums and the guitar really add to the boss theme. Okay. Yo! Cool boss theme. And we got the fade out. That's cool. Now going back to Maniac's comment. Next up is Shadow Generation's White Space Underground. Plays in a hidden underground cavern of Shadow's white space. The only way to reach Mephilis' boss gate is to traverse through this area, and his boss gate is the only thing here. His boss gate is the only one that is hidden and buried, unlike every other level and boss in this game. You even need 4 keys to open it, instead of the usual 3. It's as if the Time Eater and Black Doom both knew that Mephilis was going to be a problem if he got free. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. That attention to detail I really enjoy. Okay, here we go. White Space Underground from Sonic X Shadow Generations. In 3, 2, and 1. Interesting. Huh. Different instrumentation. I like the use of the percussion. It gives it almost a tribal feel to it, you know? Like this is an ancient, secret power is hidden here. You probably shouldn't touch it. The choir adds to that eerie feeling. That's not cowbell, is it? Like, you should leave! Don't be here! how big is this underground space? And that's where that ended. That ending was a little abrupt, but continuing with Shadow Generations. Next is Boss Battle, Mephilis Part 1. So Maniac says, Mephilis has a new gimmick this time. A shadow can now chase him in the darkness and force him out of it. To compensate, Mephilis now manifests an energy blade from the palm of his hand. Energy blade? And can counterattack you if you pressure him for too long. I will defeat you and restore myself to the timeline. Ooh. Here's Boss Battle, Mephilis Part 1 from Sonic X Shadow Generations. In 3, 2, and 1. The choir is a nice addition. Ooh, that's a very interesting effect. There's the motif. Ooh. Interesting. Jeez, these songs are perfectly creepy. Hey! There's so many... I don't know where it goes, where the song is going to go. It keeps changing up. Ooh. I wonder if this leads into part 2. We're getting the fade out here. Such an interesting song. Heck yeah. Now we go to part 2 of Mephilis's boss theme in Generations. Maniac adds, the clones are back, as well as the giant shadow monster, but this time it chases you in the darkness and throws you out of the darkness if it catches you. No, I want to exist! Ooh, no, we don't want you to exist. Sorry, Mephilis. But also, no. Okay, so you have to avoid the giant shadow monster for this, yeah? Interesting. All right, here's boss battle, Mephilis part 2. I'm expecting this to build on part 1. However, part 1 seemed to have gone through different phases. I had no idea where the song was going to go. It was very interesting, the journey the song took. And it makes me wonder what kind of space or what the stage, the battle room looks like. But yeah, let's check this out in 3, 2, and 1. Straight into it. It's already hitting hard at the very beginning. No slow, creepy. Oh. We are on the move. Time to avoid the ads. The giant monster, the stakes feel higher. It seems to follow the same pattern as part 1, but definitely pushing harder. Oh, and it has its own ending. Nice. Okay, last on the list that was sent by Maniac is Event Showdown with Mephilis. This plays in Shadow's final cutscene, where he tries to seal Mephilis in the Scepter of Darkness again. Mephilis breaks free, because after absorbing Shadow's power from his shadow, he's too strong to be sealed in the Scepter again. He blows away Team Dark and takes Shadow's Chaos Emerald, giving Mephilis 2 to boost himself with. He makes an army of clones of himself and tells Shadow, "You must realize now that you cannot hope to stop me with your limited power." Shadow gets up, "So you say." Mephilis once again tells Shadow it's futile. The world will betray you. Why fight at all? Why risk your life for those who will persecute you later? Shadow then takes off the rings around his wrists that were keeping his power in check. Oh, it's one of those. Okay, Rock Lee. And tells Mephilis, "If the world chooses to become my enemy, I will fight like I always have." Before he and Team Dark literally blast through the clones and keep fighting despite their chances being grim and their future being even more grim. Wow. You gotta love Shadow's conviction to keep going in spite of knowing what's going to happen and people betraying. Or maybe Mephilis was just spouting BS. But either way, let's check out Event Showdown with Mephilis from Sonic the Hedgehog 2006. In 3, 2, and 1. And with 2 Chaos Emeralds too. Overwhelming power. Oh boy. I like that there's another melody underneath that's sort of building. They're gonna do their best. Go Team Dark! Yep. There's the hopeful theme. In spite of all odds, they fighting. Hey! Oh, that's so cool! That was a cute motif there. Heck yeah. I love it when they do that. Going back to Maniac's comment. So apparently Maniac removed a track because Marlon wants to save... Oh! Wants to save the track for the last story. Got it. So whatever that song is going to be a part of next video. Or next Sonic 06 video. Instead, Maniac sent me a picture of Mephilis, I think it's supposed to be. But unfortunately, the picture doesn't, when I click it, it doesn't show. So I will just look it up. Is this Mephilis? This is not what I was expecting. He looks way more hedgehog-like than I thought he would. For some reason, I was thinking a dark entity similar to what Chaos looks like. But yeah, thank you for trying to send me a picture, Maniac. I really appreciate it. The picture in my head of Shadow fighting someone was like a huge blob of darkness or something. But yeah, that's really interesting. Once again, huge thank you to Maniac and Marlon for the tag team. I think that is it for this reaction. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your weekend. Don't forget that no matter how it is you are feeling, you are A-W-E-S-O-M-E. You are A-W-E-S-O-M-E. All right, everyone. I'll see you all in the next Sonic Saturday or next reaction. All right, guys. Bye-bye.